Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? It's been a while since we've had a one-on-one talk. So a couple months ago, we made a video briefly covering trad wives. And did you ever stop and think to yourself, why are all these trad wife influencers young, hot, and above all else, young? Well, since then, the internet has also had that question, and they have summoned the 40-plus-year-old trad wives that are on the internet to tell us about their experiences being a trad wife and their message to the trad wives of today. So today, we are diving deep. We're going balls to walls in the trad wife movement, okay? And we're gonna talk about this war that's happening between the OG trad wives and the new trad wives. Let's go! So to start this conversation, I thought that we could listen to a trad wife talk about her experiences being a trad wife, what a trad wife is, the whole shebang. So we're gonna be listening to this video from Estee Williams, who is essentially the TikTok face of the trad wife movement. And she made a video called How to Be a Trad Wife. Implement ultra-traditional gender roles into your marriage. Embrace your femininity. God designed two genders for a different purpose. What do you mean ultra-traditional? It reminds me of like our video where Nate was talking about how he was super picky about having a specific type of Christian version girl. I love that God designed two genders for different reasons. I don't know if this is your intention. It's coming off a little homophobic and transphobic. It reminds me of like the song that goes like, somebody's gotta wear a pretty skirt. Somebody's gotta be the one to flirt. Is this even advice on how to be a traditional wife, or are we just making country songs at this point? Somebody's gotta be the one to clean. Somebody's gotta be the one to queef. You have to marry the right man. A healthy, protective, masculine, and faith-centered man who appreciates the divide of gender roles. Unfortunately, if you marry the wrong man, he will abuse this blessing. Okay, this is actually some good advice. We all grew up thinking that our soulmates were these toxic, mysterious vampires or werewolves that would imprint on us, and then it was like up to us to like change his ass. Okay, that's not realistic. My only problem with this one is, again, correlating good husband material to how godly and how much he centers his world around faith. I don't think that matters. Like, what if you're a muscle mommy and you like men that are like atheist cat boys with golden retriever vibes? Like, I see that dynamic all the time, and they always make like the best couples. Learn to cook, clean, and host. Okay, I kind of agree with this. I don't think that it's just a wife's duty. I think everyone should learn to clean and cook because it's vital life skills. Number 4, have something just for you. I actually really like this advice, okay? So whether your hobbies is cleaning, cooking, being a furry, being a Disney adult, whatever it is that you want to do and it's not hurting anybody, you should do that. Number 5, upkeep your beauty maintenance. Men are designed to be visual, and it's a beautiful thing to embrace that as a wife. Whoop, there it is. I don't understand this whole argument of men are visual creatures and women are one of those things that they like to look at. As if women are not also visual creatures. Historically, women love colors and decor and design. And we're gonna say that they are not visual creatures, but the men that literally wear flip-flops and basketball shorts with an Enron t-shirt, they're the visual creatures? I just want to point out here that the whole trad wife movement, there's a really big emphasis on the ultra traditional values / morals. The traditional word referring to Western Christian morals and values, if that makes sense. Now, being a trad wife is not exclusive to being a Christian woman. There are other religions and other parts of the world that also have these very similar values and stuff. However, a lot of the literature and the language used by these trad wives, a lot of it correlates and they're referring to a Christian Bible, and a lot of the culture that they're talking about is referring to like traditional Western values. Like the whole, there are only two genders, women stay home, men go out and work. So at its core, I really don't see a single problem with women that want to be traditional housewives. It's a great job that requires so much effort and it's so grossly underpaid, okay? So you will never catch me shitting on stay-at-home wives in this channel. Where I think the trad wife movement kind of crossed the lines is, again, bestowing your beliefs onto other women and kind of telling them that if they are not stay-at-home moms, or they don't have the privilege to be a stay-at-home mom, that they're ungodly in some sort of way. So with that said, I believe that there's 3 tiers to being a trad wife. The more women shaming there is, the higher the tier. So we're gonna start off with tier number 1. I like to call this tier the thirst trap tier. So these are the people that don't really outright judge anyone for not being a trad wife, but you know, they encourage it by posting idealistic type content that shows how amazing and, you know, my life is so much better than yours type of stuff. The prime example of this is, you guessed it, Nara Smith. If you're not familiar with Nara's content, she really just posts like vlogs where she like makes things from scratch.
My sister's in town to visit and she's been craving bubblegum so bad, but she ran out, so I just decided to make it for her. I poured some powdered sugar on some wax paper and created a well before combining my husband ran out of the moisturizer that he usually uses and he didn't love it enough to repurchase, so he just decided to make his own. He combined some beef tallow and beeswax in a metal bowl.
Okay, I'm not trying to hate here, but like, is this real? This literally seems like something they would put in the background inside like a fake dentist office. My husband was violently craving Belle Delphine's bath water, so I went to the bathtub and made that for him. My son really wanted a brand new iPad, so I flew down to Morocco and mined the cobalt for him.
These are some baby names I loved, but I didn't use this time around. For reference, our kids have pretty unique names. Our daughter's name is Rumble Honey Smith.
Rumble Honey Smith. Dad thought she was gonna name her kid Rumpelstiltskin.
Our son's name is Slim Easy Smith, and then we just had little Whimsy Lou Smith. These are some girls' names that I loved. We were almost gonna name her Tink.
We got Rumpelstiltskin, we got Real Slim Shady, and we got Lucy Mayhew from Whoville. Every time I make a pregnancy announcement video, you guys are always like, Missy, who would literally name their kids that? These people. Because of these crunchy moms, 10 years from now, we're gonna have people go up and be like,
hey guys, I'm 6 years old and my name is Dipsy Willow. Hey guys, I'm 8 years old and my name is Anal-B Megatron the Fourth.
Okay, all jokes aside, I actually don't think that there's anything wrong with this content. Like, yeah, could you argue that this is setting unrealistic expectations for what a Mormon trad life looks like? Sure. However, I feel like you can make that argument for like literally everything that's on the internet. Do you guys remember when like every single bitch wanted to be a forensic anthropologist because they saw how cool the show Bones was and they wanted to like work with an FBI? Remember when all of us wanted to be marine biologists because we saw those mermaid shows? Remember that shit? Look, I just turned 28 the other day. All right, I'm fucking tired. Sometimes I want to watch a really pretty girl make this nasty looking bubblegum and pretend like if I named my kid Rumpelstiltskin that there would be no repercussions. Sometimes I want to live in that reality. Okay, so now let's talk about tier 2 trad wives, okay? So these are the women that don't just make like aesthetic content showing how trad wife life is amazing, but these women have like a judgmental, shameful, like undertone to their content. So we have the infamous Gwenthemilkmaid, okay? And she made this video called Lies I Was Told Growing Up Thanks to Modern Feminism. You don't need a man. A 9-to-5 job is better than raising your kids. Getting married and starting a family will make you unhappy. Promiscuity and dressing provocatively is empowering. Birth control is safe. Abortions are no big deal. Do you guys see like what I mean by like the judgmental undertones in these videos? Like, yeah, she's not coming out here like spraying everyone with a machine gun, okay? But you know, she's throwing hands. She's throwing out yo mama insults. There's just something about her saying all these super judgmental things in front of like this aesthetic bread making session she's having in her little kitchen here. It's just something about it that's just like uncanny. It's like the most passive aggressive ever. This is very much giving like the same vibes as a Southern woman going like, oh, bless your heart, child. So we have Jasmine Dinis here, who is also another trad wife that I see on TikTok all the time. And she made a video that says, I get so much hate for being a stay-at-home mom, but while you're working a full-time job you hate, I'm picking out our sourdough at the market on a Monday morning. Remember, in the past, every mother was a stay-at-home mom. You're not crazy for wanting to stay at home. You're going back to your natural instincts. God, the whole argument of like being a homemaker, being a nurturer, being a mom, a stay-at-home mom specifically, that's your natural instincts. It's what God called you to do. It's not even true. Like if you look through history, women have always been like the teachers. They organize politics and guilds and stuff like that. They do a lot of the accounting and the bookkeeping, being the town whore. I mean, someone's gotta do it. That probably would have been me 300 years ago. And like, this is my problem with these trad wife videos. They always cherry pick little things they want from history to make their narrative make sense. I'm like, girl, back in the day, they drank mercury and like used camel poop as contraceptives. Like, where in history do we have the feminine urge, the feminine roots to move to a McMansion in the suburbs and decorate everything in the style millennial beige? So I also wanted to bring up some trad husbands, because there's no such thing as a trad wife if we don't have trad husbands.
Christian wives, can I just let you in on a little secret about what is slowly destroying your husband? It says in the book of Proverbs 12:4, an excellent wife is the crown of her husband. I bet you that's your goal, that you want to be the crown of your husband, the most precious thing to him. But she who brings shame is like rottenness to his bones. There is nothing that will steal the joy and the confidence of your husband more than your nagging, more than you calling him out on all those little things in order that you could secretly shame him into changing. You will not shame him into changing. You will rot his bone.
I'm sorry.
Christian wives, us Christian husbands want to tell you guys that actually you're ugly as and we can't stand to be around you guys. And we would rather be pegging our bros than be around you.
Guys, I just know that this man overuses his weaponizing competence. If the average man's incompetence weapon is a handgun, this guy's incompetence weapon is a nuke. I just know that he leaves stains in the toilet. He doesn't remember his kids' birthdays. He doesn't know his wife's eye color. He has to ask his wife where the scissors are, and they've been living in the same house for 10 years. If either person is nagging about something, how about we have a real adult conversation and try to resolve this issue and be honest with each other? Let's have a moment of silence for all the Christian wives, because I feel like this man's wife, she's one stain away from snapping this man's neck. You're in the arms of the trad wives, clean the shit stain. Okay, next we had to obviously include Harrison Butker, a kicker from the Chiefs, and he is making a commencement speech at a university on their graduation.
I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
Nope. Not me. Like, as a woman who graduated college, I was never like, oh my God, time for me to be a boss babe and step on the balls of all the men that are in my way. Move, men. I'm a feminist. And I also was never like, oh my God, I can't wait to get cream-filled by my husband and have 10 kids.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother.
Like, do you guys remember that one pastor that like embezzled millions of dollars from his church, like charity funds? And then he was like,
I was called to remodel my kitchen, and invest the rest of the money in a crypto scheme.
That's like the same vibes that I get when I hear them talking about calling. I already know that there's these traditional husbands that are like, well, my wife was called to be a stay-at-home mom, but me, I was called to use up all of our net worth and spend it on my 19-year-old escort girlfriend. Also, Harrison, aren't men designed to like go to war and f***ing die and like, I don't know, capture a lion or some shit? Like, why are you in the NFL then? Can you point to me where in the Bible or historically when men were designed or had roots in having a fade, manscaping every day, and kicking balls for a living, getting tackled by other beefcake daddies for a living? Tell me where. Bitch, where? Okay, and finally, we are at the last tier, the top tier trad wipes, okay? So these people, they don't give a f, all right? They out here shaming women left, right, and center. Watch this. It's a stitch.
Mostly for a woman.
With all due respect, enjoy your selfish, self-centered, self-serving life, and enjoy always taking the easy way out and doing everything the easy way, never doing anything difficult or meaningful or rewarding or anything worthwhile. And enjoy dying alone.
The hardest things in life will always be the most worthwhile. So if you're that weak, it's probably better that you don't have kids. And by the way, there are a lot better countries to live in Mexico. Mexico is gross and dirty. Yuck.
Oh my God, what the f? Why does the wife look like she's a hostage held at gunpoint? The guy's just like,
Quick, say something mean about childless women. She's just like,
I hate Mexicans.
And it's a good thing you're smoking hot, but you're gonna get old.
That too.
in front of his wife too? Oh my God. The blonde girl you saw at the beginning is saying that she is childless by choice. And then the couple that is stitching to her is responding, pretty much saying that she's a weak bitch, she's not a good person. God, the guy saying that she's smoking hot was just it's just the cherry on top, bitch.
look, you're tempting me right now, so I'm glad that even though I would drink your bathwater and suck on your toes, you're gonna age and be ugly one day. And that makes me feel better about myself for some reason.
Anyways, the next video we have is classically Abby, and she made a video about should you be a mother?
If you think that being a mother is something that is a choice, in the sense that you could do it, you could take on this massive burden, and you could take on the massive responsibility of another person's life, or you could just continue to live for yourself and travel and party it up and do all of these things that I think are not what life is for. I believe, though, that motherhood is what life is for. That if you don't choose to put other people ahead of yourself, and if you don't choose to live your life for the purpose of raising the next generation, then you're just living a hedonistic life.
I guess, Harriet Tubman, well, that bitch is because she cared more about freeing people than bringing in a child into this world. Oh, Mother Teresa, well, that whore. Okay, because she didn't even want to bring kids into this world. She's living a hedonistic life. Like, there's a million reasons why people don't want to have kids. Some people can't afford to have kids. Some people had a traumatic childhood and don't want to bring a child into this world. Again, it's very much giving like she got a glimpse of what her life used to be. She's just sitting here being like, wait a minute, this is not what I wanted, but I'm miserable. You guys have to be miserable too. It's not fair. Also, if the point of these videos are to make women want to have kids, this is doing a job. Like, literally, I saw a video of quadruplets on TikTok, and one of them was like making the other three laugh. I literally had max baby fever at that second, okay? I was like down to get cream filled that day. I wanted a baby so bad after seeing that video. But Abby Shapiro telling me that I'm a piece of shit because I chose to have a career at 28, that's not really doing it for me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so that was the newer trad wife movement. Because this trad wife movement has gained so much traction on TikTok the last few years, a lot of OG trad wives that have been trad wives for 20 plus years have come out and said their opinion on why you don't see that many trad wives that are over 40 anymore, and kind of their experience being a trad wife.
When I was a 19-year-old girl, I fell in love. My Mormon faith told me that I was supposed to be a stay-at-home mom. I got married. I started having babies. I dropped out of college. And my Mormon stake president reminded me that women weren't supposed to work. So I quit my own business, handed it over to my husband, took my name off of it. I would work our family business throughout the next 24 years of my marriage, but I never got paid. And it never bothered me once that my financial security was dependent on that man being in love with me. I never realized that him liking me or not liking me or finding me sexy or attractive or interesting determined whether or not my children could eat.
This is just so sad to watch. This one says, imagine this. The trad wife life didn't work out. You have a 10-year gap in your resume, 4 kids that need to be taken care of, while he is off living with another woman. So now you're at the food stamps office trying to see when your application will be approved. When you decide the trad wife life isn't working out the way you planned, so after 10 years of dedication and 4 kids, you're starting over. So to sum up what these ladies are pretty much saying is that it happens. And you know, in these stories, it's a story of a man that leaves his wife even though she's doing everything that these trad wives are telling them, you know? And yet, even if you do everything right, can go wrong. It's okay to go out and frolic around in a tittylicious sundress and make bubble gum from scratch and get married at 19 and dress up like a 1950s housewife every single day. Just know that when you rely on someone else financially for your own livelihood, and this is not even just your husband, but it could be your husband, your parents, your siblings, your aunts and uncles, friends, and you just want to make sure that in the event that something happens to those people that you rely on, that you have something for yourself. You have a plan B. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what other commentary videos you guys would like me to do in the future, and I will see you next time. Bloop!